So what's up guys, welcome back to the Chelsea Ramman YouTube channel, and today I am going to be explaining why I hate being autistic, right? Now, first of all, the reason why I'm actually decided to not want to have a child is because I'm autistic, right? Being autistic is literally a curse. Well, it's a blessing at the same time because I feel like because your brain's already going through hell before you actually go through actual hell, you kind of know that the world is hell, right? You already I feel like you've got autism. You're already aware of the world around you because you already see the world in a bad way, right? You wonder what this is? This is a inhaler, you know. I don't really have much of a cold, but because it gets down to the back of your throat, it sort of helps with your cough. But yeah, the reason why I'm autistic is simply, as I've said, the reason why is simply genetic. The reason why I won't have a kid and pass on is because I know my kid would be autistic, right? Um, yeah, the reason why I'm autistic is simply genetics, right? Well, most likely genetics. I mean, technically, not all autism is genetic, right? Some of it can be caused from environments and diet and all that sort of thing, but 90% of it, if not 95% of it, is genetic, right? My dad's definitely got autism. He even says himself that he's got some form of Asperger's. So it's not really surprising that I'm autistic, right? Um, Realistically, when I was a kid, my dad used to tie me to a high chair when I couldn't sleep, and he used to tie me in the middle of nowhere, tie me in the kitchen, and just leave me there to cry, which I have heard can increase the risk of things like autism, ADHD, separation anxiety, PTSD, etc. Right, it can increase the risk later on in life, but um, but also on top of that, I got taken away from my mum. No, my mum took me away from my dad when I was just under 2 years old. So at the same time, that probably made things worse. Maybe that what made me worse. I don't know. I don't know. It's an awkward one because it's like, did that cause autism? Was it purely genetic? Probably a bit of both, but I'd say maybe more genetic. I would say, but yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old, um, and yeah, I couldn't really speak when even before my mum took me away from my dad, I couldn't actually speak from her part. And then my dad was saying that I was fine. It's like two different opinions and two different parents. That's the problem that I've always had, is, with my mum and dad, they've always kind of had different opinions and sort of argued over them, and then I've been stuck in the middle. And yeah, yeah. So I saw my dad when I was four. I got to see my dad again when I was 3 or 4. I got diagnosed with autism when I was around 3 or 4. I think I was 4 years old when I got diagnosed with autism. Um, and yeah, I was a weird kid, man. I was a weird kid. I used to pretend to be a dinosaur. I used to pretend to be a car. I was a weird kid. I was a very weird kid. Let me put it that way. Um, yeah, my childhood was pretty much throughout primary school was just me pretending to be a dinosaur, really. I saw a guy when I was 15, 16, when I went through that self-improvement stage. I met an old guy at the gym once, and it's really weird because his last name's the same name as my last name, but he knew me as a different last name because my mum's an idiot. Thought it'd be a good idea to put my name in another name, and now I can't even get a driver's license because of it. Bloody parents, man. That's why I hate parents, man. Um, yeah, and he was like, all I remember you was doing was just pretending to be a dinosaur. I just looked at him and was like, well, yeah, I was a weird kid. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I got into secondary school, I pretty much got bullied. And the thing is, it's really weird because when I used to act really weird, I didn't get bullied. And then when I started to act all quiet and the complete opposite, that's when I got bullied. You know what I mean? It's like they saw my quietness as a weakness and they picked on it and they spread rumors about me. I was obviously bullied at school. I made a stupid bloody old YouTube video which made things 10 times worse. Yeah, people were assholes at school. It's certain. A lot of the bullying doesn't affect me itself, but the thoughts that come from the bullying still live in me now. Still in my head now. Yeah, and then obviously I had college. First year of college had the odd bit of stick here and there, but generally fine once I was bullied. Really, second year was quite a let off because second year of college, basically, if you're American, that's 17 to 18, what you would class as high school, but we call it, when you get to 16, 18, you get sixth form, apprenticeship, and college, and I did college. Yeah, it's just type it up and you research it, really. I can't be bothered to explain it. Um, and yeah, if you're wondering why I'm reading off a script, because I had to write things down, because it's quite a complicated topic, really. But in my opinion, it is anyway. But yeah, pretty much second year of college was a let off. Then isolation came, and yeah, I didn't. Quarantine came around, and I got OCD. Well, I already had OCD. My OCD got a lot worse. I couldn't. I started counting, like when I was washing my hands, and dare do I say this, wiping my ass and having showers. I was counting numbers in my head. So I've suffered with OCD anyway, but OCD got a lot worse during lockdown. Um, yeah, yeah, that's kind of what happened. It's sad. It is sad. I mean, I still got OCD now, really. But yeah, I've been due therapy for the last 3 years, and they still haven't given it to me. But I don't know if I even need therapy. But to be fair, yeah, like as I said, my other mental health problems are things like OCD, ADHD, things like that. I mean, during my childhood, I had abusive step parents. I got abused by my stepmom. She would call me a skank, and one time she threatened to beat me up because I didn't get the door for her granddad. Yeah, I remember the thing in my head right now, actually. Yeah, yeah, and my dad's still with her now. That's why I barely see my dad. Sticking up for her over me. And then I was had abusive stepdad who my mum's left over a decade ago now, but he once slammed my head against the wall and caused my head to bleed. I think the bleeding was an accident, but the actual harm was there. And all I did, I can't remember exactly what I did. I must have done something quite bad, but like to slam my head against the wall was a bit of an exaggeration. I could clap around the back of the head's one thing, but like, smacking your actual head against the wall, like, do you know what I mean? That's abusive. That is abusive. Um, and yeah, I had family when I was growing up tell me I couldn't do anything because of my autism and all this. You can't do this, you can't do that, like constantly smothering me and being overprotective. And I think that's what led to me having social anxiety. I think that's because I sort of grew up thinking the world's a bad place. I can't do anything. I'm useless. I'm useless. And I think that's what happened. I've sort of had that instilled into me from a very young age. And I think that hasn't helped with my anxiety. But yeah, those are pretty much the other mental problems: the OCD, anxiety, ADHD, etc. Um, yeah, but the reason why I'm making this video is simply because why I hate my autism. Now, the reason why I hate my autism is simply because it just sucks, right? You can't sleep at night. Your literal brain's constantly like on fire all the bloody time. It's like you can't go to sleep. And when you do go to sleep, you just wake up early. Like on average, I get 5 or 6 hours a night. Like I'm barely sleeping enough. I'm literally going insane. And it's all genetic because my dad has the exact same problem. My grandma has the exact same problem. So I don't think it's lifestyle. I've tried supplementing with magnesium, CBD oil, that's failed. The only thing I haven't done is CBT, which I've been due for 3 years now, but I'm giving up on that now. Plus, I don't know if I even need therapy. I think I'm just doomed. I just think the moment I was born, I was doomed. And the thing is, I know so many people autistic who, hate their parents for bringing them into this world. So, I feel their pain. I really do. I relate to autistic people so much, man. So much more than neurotypicals. Neurotypicals annoy me, man. Like, obviously, there are decent neurotypical people out there, but vast majority of them are such sheep. They listen to all these stupid social media trends and, you know what I mean? Obviously, there are a lot of autistic people that are probably following the woke narrative as well, where there's 100 genders and stuff, which obviously I don't agree with. But yeah, like generally speaking, most people that I know are autistic, especially like autistic men as well, I relate to a lot. I really do. Autism sucks, man. You can't stand to be around people. You're forced to work in a society that doesn't give a fuck about you. You're forced to work a job which isn't designed for you. You're not social. You hate people a lot of the time. We certainly prefer to not be around them, depending on how much you hate them and what experience you've had with them, I guess. Me, I haven't had great experience with people, so of course I'm not going to like them, you know. Um, yeah, and I hate having ADHD because you can't like focus or anything. You know, same with OCD. Like OCD is constantly like, I think my OCD is like is a coping mechanism for my anxiety. If I have an anxiety over something, I use coping mechanisms. I do use other coping mechanisms. I would say like video games, crap food, porn, even alcohol. I've gone into the woods before, you know what I mean, with like a bottle of wine in my hand and drunk the whole thing, gotten drunk in the middle of nowhere, like, do you know what I mean? Because I've felt sad, I suppose. But yeah, that's why I hate autism. I think the reason why autism's hated as well, and that's another thing actually that I was about to, on another bullet point, is why autism is hated. And I think a lot of that is simply because us autists, is it autists? Are hated simply down to the fact that we don't listen to the social norms a lot of the time. We're like, fuck you, I do what the hell I want. You know what I mean? Like realistically, people want me, my family, when I've talked to them about my issues before, 2 years ago, because I haven't talked to them about that since really, and nor do I plan to, have said, oh, just go out and get a job and you'll find a purpose. Just go out and, I don't know, and talk to us more. I'm like, that's gonna work, isn't it? Because I've tried that and it's failed. I mean, I don't like my family anyway. They're toxic as hell. They can't admit they're in the wrong. They can't. And I don't help myself, but they're 10 times, they're just as bad, if not worse. In fact, the main reason why my life sucks in the first place, they didn't smother me and they actually taught me actual stuff that actually mattered instead of just telling me I was vulnerable my whole life, throughout my whole childhood, then into my teens. You know what, I might have actually have grown up a bit more, independent and more sure of myself, but it is what it is now. I mean, I'm an adult now anyway, but yeah, I think the reason why autism's hated is simply just down to the fact that we go out social norms and we're hated on. It doesn't help the fact you've got the mainstream news demonising us as well, and I mean, you always see like this autistic killer and in the news, and it's like, he wasn't a killer, right, because he was autistic. He was a killer because he was fucking mental, right? There's nothing to do with his autism, mate. But the mainstream media just want to cause division in society. That's what they do. But yeah, and I think the reason why I hate most neurotypicals is they just don't get you. They don't understand the fact that you don't want to work a shitty job for the rest of your life. They don't understand that you're more awake than they are. Most people I know that are awake to the matrix and awake to the way the world is are usually autistic or have some kind of mental health problem, because they actually suffered so much, whether it be mentally, physically, financially. They see the world for what it truly is. Absolute hell. And if you think this world is great and it's a good idea to bring a kid into this world, well, you're selfish. Simple as. That's why I've become an anti-natalist, is because I've seen the world for what it is. And I just don't simply want to pass on my genes because my genes are very poor. I mean, look at me and look at who I am. Like, I don't know, realistically, me bringing a kid into this world is a good idea. Yeah, I had a lot of clowns on my YouTube channel, one of my videos, why self-improvement is overrated, and some of the comments, man, absolute clowns, have no clue. Like all this, oh, you just do self-improvement, everything will sort itself out. No, it won't. I still suffer inside. I've still got autism. I mean, how am I going to, do you know what I mean? And nor do I actually care anyway. I've given up with that self-improvement garbage years ago now. Nor do I plan on going back to it. All I need is enough money to survive and some escorts. That's it. I don't care about having a girlfriend and all that. Why would I want to get my ass dumped, for what? Do you know what I mean? When I could just get an escort and get what I want, and that is sex and companionship. But yeah, there were a few natalists in the comments saying that one of them was saying, oh, children is the most amazing thing. Why do you want everyone escorts? Because escorts don't produce children, that's why. I don't want children, nor do I think you should. In fact, I don't think anyone should. But at the end of the day, I can't force you, so do what you like, I guess. Do what you like. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, obviously, leave a comment on what you want me to do next, and subscribe, and yeah, have a good day.